Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. Okay, so let's check out this particular application here. First, let's go into the overall dimensions. So overall dimensions I have, mainly it's 19 foot 2 inches from this outer post here to the outside post. I have a ceiling height here of about 9'5" and 3/4 of an inch rather. This section over here is 28 feet 8. However, we're not going to be heating up this space very much. We have 17 foot 2 from this outer edge here to the wall, and then we have a 16 foot section over here. Now there are some information that I received in reference to the height of the ceiling here. I have that at 17 foot 9 starting here. And then from this point here to the floor, I have that at 8 foot and 8.5 inches. Now, this dimension here is not going to be 100% accurate. However, I do have it about 12 inches roughly in height here. And I think that's about it as far as that is concerned. Now, I think the beam will probably be pushed over to the left here a few inches and to the right over here a few inches. However, that's not going to make that big of an issue. The main part that we're going to be looking at is just the clearances around this edge over here. And let's go ahead and turn that dimension off and look at a couple of different options. So first of all, you can see that we have a seating area here that's casual seating. I have a fireplace sitting over here. We do have dining space over here. There's a bar over here, but we're going to look at that again as a future application. I'm going to remove the fireplace for right now, just so we can see how the heating system may work for this application. So let's go ahead and look at one option that I would possibly recommend. And that would be two of the CD's 6024 6000 watt 240 volt 25 amp heaters, and I have them placed in such a manner. Now you can see that they're not attached to the ceiling joist here or rafter. However, I do have them in the same kind of position as the slope itself is concerned. We do need to make sure that we are meeting clearances above the heater. So we may have to use an extended bracket in order to accomplish that. If we looked at the clearances above, you can see that we're not 100% here. So probably a 2-inch extended bracket would be something that would work, as well as we do have a clearance below. And this is why I have it positioned in such a manner as to meet that clearance from this edge here to the edge of the heater. That's about it as far as that's concerned. It's not going to be 100% accurate here. However, I do want to kind of show what that footprint of heat would look like. So let's go ahead and do that first of all. And we'll maybe talk about the clearances a little bit in just a few minutes. I do have the heater, so it's placed from this edge here to the outer edge of the patio space at 5 feet 5 inches, or excuse me, 5 feet 6 inches from this edge here to the outer edge. And you can see that the footprint of heat would cover this space really well. Now, the other option would be to mount a heater on this edge over here. So let's go ahead and show that. And I'm going to leave the existing heater on there for right now, so you can kind of see where the dilemma actually sits. And that's where that is so I have it at a mounting on a vertical surface like this. and you can only change the angle a maximum of 30 degrees from straight down 30 degrees up, or if you looked at it from this point of view, straight out 65 degrees down. And you can see the coverage isn't 100%. Again, if I looked at the floor plan, let's put that on here real quick. So the floor plan, you can see that I believe that these posts are going to be over about 3 inches. What I did is I matched this up here to the floor plan itself, so I think it's going to actually be pushed back a little bit, and these ceiling joists will probably be a little bit different, so this angle is going to be slightly different. But if you looked at this, and if you mounted it on a vertical surface like this and you changed it to 30 degrees from straight down out, then you need to maintain a clearance above the heater at 12 inches. Would this clearance be met? And let's look at the clearance below the heaters. So this is what the manufacturer states can be done. Vertical surface, 30 degrees, from straight down over, and that would still, if this was a wall, that would still be legal to go ahead and place that, or it would be meeting the clearances that the manufacturer recommends, I should say. So this beam wouldn't be a problem, nor would anything else other than the fact that we need that 12 inches of clearance above. And if I looked at the lower clearance area, I'm going to turn off the top. You can see that, again, with this mounting like this and the manufacturer's recommendation, this should be accomplished with no issue whatsoever. But you can see that the ray itself from this heater versus this heater isn't covering this space on the outer edge as much as I would like. So that's kind of why I like this a little bit better than this, but this probably looks a little bit better than this one over here does. So let's go ahead and turn the first option off so you can kind of see what that overall footprint of heat would be. So I would say that, this position would be good, good, okay, okay, and this would be fine, great for this application. Going back to the other option, you can see that the coverage is much better over here and over here, and the overlapping ray is a little bit less, which would be probably a more preferred footprint of heat for what I would recommend. But that, again, is going to be based on, do you like this positioning here, or would you prefer it on the existing beams over here? All right, well, let's turn that off and look at the other option, which would be heating up the table position over here. Let's go ahead and put on the flush mount units. So these are going to be flush mount 6,000 watt units, and this would be ideal for this particular application. However, we have one other issue that we need to kind of address, and that is how are these ceiling joists positioned. I have these ceiling joists, these are 2x8s, and I have these at 16-inch center to center. So if this was accurate as far as the ceiling rafter part of the joist, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that term, but that would fit in here just fine. You need 13 inches of space from this edge here to this edge here, and that should be fine with regards to these lower joists here. However, if the rafter system is sloped like I have it, that might become an issue. So you can see that we're now not meeting all the clearances here. So, what could we do in order to achieve this? I'm not 100% certain of the distance between, these ceiling rafters or ceiling joists here, here, and here. Let's go ahead and see what I do have. Let's go over here and just measure this out from this point here to this outer edge here. So I have that at 3 foot 3 3/4. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. So if it's a little closer than that to the wall over here, then you know, this might be okay if the ceiling rafters are at this particular angle that I have them. However, if they're not, then, you know, we can come up with a different option. But as far as the distances apart that I have them at, let's go ahead and mark that up here. You'll see that I have these at from center point here to center point here. I have them at 5 feet 4. Now I probably would like them a little bit further apart. So let's go ahead and try moving that over from this point here to this point here, and we'll move this one here from this point here to this point over here. So that's at 8 foot center to center, practically is 8 foot 1/4 inch. And I think this would be good overlapping. So that would probably be my preferred, rather than what I showed at the very beginning there. The other display I had was too close to each other and a lot of overlapping, so I wasn't too happy about that, but this would be very good. I think there's anything else I want to talk about with regards to this. Let's go ahead and turn off that ray and look at one other thing in reference to the flush mount kits. And I'm going to turn off the clearances below and go with the whatever type of material that you might be using surrounding the flush mount. So this is going to be the ceiling, let's say, and let's just say that it's going to be stucco finish, so maybe you know, a 1/2 inch depth on that. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull that over here, pull that over here a little bit. So let's just say this is a stucco finish. What you want to do is make sure that the stucco finish is up to this edge. Let's see if we can accomplish that here. So up to the edge of the ventilation holes here, and then you need to make sure that it's 1/2 inch away. I like this because of the fact that, you know, once this is covered like this, then the you know, the flush mount kit itself isn't exposed as much, and it just looks like a much better application as far as the overall coverage. I'm going to just put a line here for right now, and then you can see that, you know, we can pull this, and that would be kind of more of the finished ceiling over here. Now if this is a wooden finished ceiling, then you want to make sure that if it's any type of combustible material, then you want to make sure that the heater itself is at the same elevation as that combustible material. So I just drop that down 1/2 inch based on that height that I see there. So that's just for information in reference to placing a flush mount kit on a ceiling regarding combustible or non-combustible ceiling type. I think that's about it for that. Now what I'm going to also do is show you what possibly, if that distance doesn't meet up, what else can we do. So there is a separate unit here, so I'm going to put that in here. So this is going to be the WD5024 flush mount with a flush mount kit. Now I don't have this whole unit design. This is a new unit that Infratech has just put out, and what I want to show, however, though, is that the flush mount kit itself is this is the inside to inside edge at 4'4", and I think I have the outside. Yeah, the outside edge to the outside edge is 4'5" and 1/4 inch to the outside edge here, to the, I should say, left to right. And then of course there's 13 inches, and that's true with this one too, 13 inches across. And that would be probably a more beneficial application if in fact these ceiling joists are in such a manner where you cannot meet the clearances over here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one over as well, and we'll go ahead and place it something like this, and I'm going to actually add one more to this location over here. And I'm going to turn off the other ones here, and we'll go ahead and look at now what the footprint of heat would look like. So the footprint of heat, and you can see that they're shallower or not as wide here. The footprint of heat is going to look very similar with regards to what we saw before. So again, the footprint of heat would be accurate for this particular application here. The other thing I should also mention is if you can move the units slightly over to the right based on the true dimensions that are actually there at the site. Maybe this position could be moved to the right just slightly, maybe 2 to 6 inches, something of that nature, and more centrally located between this wall here and the inner edge of these beams here. So it's just something to think about, that that could be done, and you just as long as you're still meeting the clearances to this position here with regards to the ceiling joist. So all right, that is going to be that recommendation, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off that ray. And for the final application, they are talking about placing a unit up here somewhere with regards to having a future top installed over here. And so what I've done is I just made something that looked like what they showed in their image, and then I placed a slimline unit over here. Now if you do have a slimline in something of this nature, I placed it so that the bracket itself is on the ceiling section, and you need to make sure that you have 6 inches of clearance from this edge here to any combustible edge over here. My particular drawing here isn't 100% accurate in that right now, but this is kind of more of a idea what would work. You could place it on this beam over here, but you'd be shining that beam of light more in this direction, which you're gonna absorb most of the heat into this section. And when you put it on a vertical surface like this, then the maximum tilt on a slimline is 45 degrees, so straight out 45 degrees, and that ray would really be penetrating over here more than right below the actual ceiling over here. So let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. And there's our footprint of heat with regards to the ray. I have it just centered within the patio structure or the bar structure here, and I think that would be something that would work out fairly decent. You might want to use a 3000 watt or a 4000 watt with a control. The 3000 watt at the bar stool seating height is probably more accurate, but on colder days you might want a little bit more heat, and that's why I'm saying if you do use a 4000, to go with a control system where you can actually dim this heater down a little bit to make it comfortable for different times of the year. And that's really true with the the 6000s that I showed over here too. I would probably go with controls on all 5 units if you in fact put all 5 units in. Even if they are the 5200s versus the 6000s that I showed at the very beginning. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, not monetize. YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we really appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.